Welcome back to Police Pursuit Media. Up next are real police pursuits where high speeds, pressure, and unexpected situations can unfold at any moment. Everything can change in just a few seconds, and what happens next is impossible to predict. Let's get started. At approximately 4:24 p.m. on March 15, 2026, the Little Rock Police Department, LRPD, working with the Arkansas State Police, ASP, pursued a blue Ford F-150 driven by Aban Valtier, a wanted suspect, westbound on I-30 from the Mablevale area. As the F-150 continued fleeing at more than 90 miles per hour, the driver repeatedly weaved through traffic, quickly turning the pursuit into a dangerous situation.
If you didn't remember, guys, you will call out, do a takedown on the vehicle. Do not rush him unless you have to. He does have a firearm.
TBI 116.
At exit 116 mm, Sergeant Byrd successfully performed a pit maneuver, causing the Ford F-150 to lose control and come to a stop in the inside lane. LRPD officers immediately moved in, drew their weapons, and ordered the driver to comply. Aban Valtier was safely taken into custody at the scene.
Westbound is shut down. LRPD is doing felony takedown. Crossfire, guys! Crossfire! It's in park. In park. 87 Little Rock. We're 1015. Further than that. We'll have the left lane shut down. We'll fix it to reopen the.
Following the incident, Aban Valtier faced multiple charges, including 2 counts of theft of property involving property valued between $5,000 and $25,000, first-degree criminal mischief, felony fleeing that endangered the lives of others, and reckless driving. At approximately 5:02 p.m. on March 5, 2024, the Little Rock Police Department, LRPD, requested assistance from Arkansas State Police, ASP Troop A, in pursuing a stolen white Nissan Altima, Arkansas license plate AVJ58D. The pursuit began near Roosevelt Road and Springer Boulevard. Heading south, the Altima quickly entered eastbound I-440, continuing toward Exit 5 Forsh Dam. At the Forsh Dam exit, the Nissan Altima suddenly swerved across multiple lanes, cut in front of several vehicles, and ran a red light, forcing other drivers to brake hard to avoid collisions. The vehicle then re-entered eastbound I-440, where Sergeant Jacob BYRD quickly moved ahead and took the lead in the pursuit.
Crossfire! Crossfire!
Clear the car. Put your hand out from underneath you. Really smart, sorry. 10-15 one time, please, man. I'd like to introduce you to my friends, Arkansas State Police. Oh! Okay, I'm not resisting, man.
Sergeant BYRD successfully performed a pit maneuver, causing the Nissan Altima to lose control, spin, and slide into a grassy roadside ditch. Once the vehicle came to a stop, officers immediately moved in, drew their weapons, and ordered the driver to comply. The suspect was safely taken into custody at the scene, bringing the pursuit to an end within just a few minutes. The suspect later faced charges including theft of property, involving property valued between $5,000 and $25,000, felony fleeing that endangered the lives of others, and possessing an open alcoholic beverage container inside the vehicle. Additional charges may be considered as the investigation is completed. At approximately 10:54 a.m. on February 22, 2025, TFC, Jacob BYRD of the Arkansas State Police, ASP, was patrolling westbound I-630 near University Avenue when he spotted a yellow Honda Accord, license plate AXN75P. Both the driver, Nakendra Gordon, and passenger Cameron Carson were not wearing seatbelts, while an ASIC check showed that the vehicle had no liability insurance. When BYRD activated his emergency lights and signaled the driver to pull over, the Accord suddenly accelerated to more than 80 miles per hour, heading toward the Baptist Health exit, while repeatedly making dangerous lane changes and following other vehicles too closely. Recognizing that the situation was becoming increasingly dangerous, Trooper BYRD continued closing in on the Honda Accord and successfully performed a pit maneuver when the road ahead was clear. The impact caused the Accord to crash into the concrete median and slide along the barrier wall. Once the vehicle came to a stop, passenger Cameron Carson suddenly opened the door carrying a Diamondback AR-556 and a backpack, threw them over the concrete barrier, and fled on foot across the I-630 I-430 overpass. Nikendra Gordon, the driver of the Honda Accord, remained inside the vehicle and was taken into custody at the scene. Meanwhile, Corporal Cass and Sergeant Monroe quickly pursued Cameron Carson and arrested him along the access road to Baptist Health. Officers then recovered the backpack and firearm that had been thrown over the barrier. Inside, they found 5.5 ounces of marijuana, a Diamondback AR-25-6, and 2 Schedule I controlled substance pills.
Excuse me, ma'am. Be quiet right now. Hold on. I would say bad. Trooper BYRD State Police. Okay, the reason I was at trial, the reason I... The portion under 130-630 where you can access the car. It crosses the north side. West side of it. Green hoodie and just like.
Nikendra Gordon faced charges including felony fleeing that endangered the lives of others, reckless driving, failure to wear a seatbelt, driving while license suspended, no insurance, and speeding more than 15 miles per hour over the limit. Meanwhile, Cameron Carson faced more serious charges including fleeing on foot, concealing evidence, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, violation of a protection order, simultaneous possession of drugs and firearms, and possession of Schedule 1/2 controlled substances. Carson also had an active warrant from the Little Rock Police Department related to charges involving theft of property, domestic violence, and second-degree battery. At approximately 2:12 p.m. on August 11, 2026, the Logan County Sheriff's Office received a report of a possibly intoxicated woman, Angela Sharp of Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the Dollar General in New Blaine, Arkansas. Sharp later left the area in a white Nissan Rogue, traveling westbound on Highway 22. When a deputy spotted the vehicle and activated the emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop, Sharp refused to comply, driving through a garden before returning to Highway 22 and continuing to flee.
Passing Fifth Street, speeds 52, moderate traffic, Paris PD has all that intersection blocked off. Once we get out of Sienna, that's when the traffic will be TV out. Still eastbound, we're coming up to the intersection of 3. Speeds 33, moderate traffic.
Thinking it westbound.
The Paris Police Department, Paris PD, quickly deployed units at key intersections to manage traffic and reduce the risk to the public. Meanwhile, Arkansas State Police, ASP, Officer Jeremy A. Elliott, number 480, positioned himself at the Sonic parking lot in Paris and quickly moved into the lead position in the pursuit. TBI. Rollover started 10:16.
10-4, 10-20.
On the 3-lane section of roadway, Officer Elliott successfully performed a TVI.PIT maneuver using the front right bumper of his patrol vehicle, causing the Nissan Rogue to lose control, leave the roadway, and roll multiple times into a roadside ditch. After the crash, the Rogue began smoking heavily while the doors remained locked. Elliott immediately used a specialized baton to break the rear driver's side window, creating an access point so assisting officers could unlock the vehicle and safely remove Angela Sharp.
I got fire. Can y'all get any doors open? No, it's locked. No. We got enough here. Can y'all get traffic? Yep. Here, watch out. Got it. All right, but you got enough.
Angela Sharp was treated at the scene by Logan County EMS before being transported to Mercy Hospital in Fort Smith for further medical care. After her release from the hospital, the Logan County Sheriff's Office was expected to take custody of Sharp for processing. Expected charges included felony fleeing, aggravated assault, reckless driving, traffic violations, and suspected DWI/DUI. On July 31, 2026, the Crittenden County Sheriff's Office and the Marion Police Department requested assistance from the Arkansas State Police in pursuing a vehicle traveling northbound on I-555 that had deliberately turned off its headlights to evade law enforcement. Earlier, the driver had appeared to comply with the traffic stop, but suddenly accelerated and continued fleeing. The pursuit continued along I-55 as the vehicle attempted to evade officers in the darkness. As law enforcement approached mile marker 35, Sergeant Victor Garcia quickly closed in and moved into position to intervene. When the opportunity was right, Garcia successfully performed a PIT maneuver, causing the vehicle to lose control and leave the highway, crashing into a field east of the roadway before coming to rest completely overturned.
Yeah, I see some flames up there in the middle. Let's see if we can get them out. We're coming! C12 going for D-Star FD as well. Oh! Careful.
After Sergeant Garcia's pit maneuver, the vehicle overturned, leaving Lamarcus Ross trapped inside by his seatbelt. Smoke and flames began coming from the engine compartment, while Ross repeatedly screamed for help. Sergeant Garcia quickly used a fire extinguisher to put out the flames, while assisting officers broke the windows and cut the seat belt to safely free Ross from the vehicle. Ross was later transported to St. Bernard's Hospital for evaluation and treatment.
Go ahead and throw out. Ooh, hey, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna pull you out.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing stupid, all right?
Not. Yeah.
Well, you already did.
Hold on.
No, the time to hold up was when you should have stopped. Crawl out.
Don't stand up. Oh, wait, don't stand up.
Who wants cuffing? This way, closer to the team.
After being rescued, Ross initially gave officers the false name Jonathan Matthew, before later admitting that his real identity was Lamarcus Ross. A records check showed that Ross was wanted for murder in Tennessee and had reportedly been arrested 16 times. During a search of the vehicle, officers recovered a purple Taurus handgun, 3 bags of marijuana, and a bag of methamphetamine. Ross faced multiple charges, including felony fleeing, reckless driving, driving while license suspended, possession of a firearm and controlled substances with intent to distribute, and obstructing governmental operations. His bond was set at $2 million, while the pursuit ultimately ended with Sergeant Victor Garcia's PIT maneuver, before quickly turning into a rescue operation when the vehicle overturned and caught fire. On January 22, 2026, a patrol corporal spotted a dark gray Chevy Equinox traveling eastbound on Highway 160 at 67 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. When the officer turned around, activated the emergency lights and siren, and ordered the SUV to pull over, the driver refused to comply and suddenly accelerated to more than 90 miles per hour, while the vehicle's exhaust continued to produce heavy smoke.
Chevy Equinox, silver, paper tags, still running for 90.
The pursuit continued at high speed as the Chevy Equinox raced forward toward a T intersection where the speed limit dropped to 40 miles per hour. Recognizing that the SUV was approaching an area with a high risk of a serious crash, the officer decided to intervene and bring the pursuit to an end.
TBI. Black male, all black.
At approximately 105 miles per hour, the officer used the front right bumper of the patrol vehicle to strike the rear left side of the Chevy Equinox, successfully performing a pit maneuver. The impact caused the SUV to lose control, leave the roadway, and enter a ditch before coming to a stop in a field. Tyerica Robinson exited the vehicle and was taken into custody at the scene. Meanwhile, passenger Jacavian Williams opened the door and fled on foot northbound across the field. The ASP trooper immediately pursued Williams and took him into custody after the suspect became exhausted and collapsed face down on the ground. Assisting officers later discovered a large clear plastic bag containing 8 smaller bags of marijuana near the area.
Watch my car. Side of the road. Wait on my head. You got shit to do?
Yeah, man.
Alright, well, you're gonna have to hang tight. You hot or cold?
Oh, man. I'm good.
Alright, well, I'm gonna put the AC on.
Man, y'all hear up, man.
Tyerica Robinson faced charges including felony fleeing by vehicle, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, failure to register/expired tags, no insurance, and speeding. Jacavion Williams faced charges of possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, obstructing governmental operations, and fleeing on foot. Both suspects were later transferred to the Lafayette County Jail. On January 18, 2026, Sergeant Dillian Cook, number 295 of the Arkansas State Police, spotted a blue Toyota Sienna Tennessee license plate, BSY 2403, traveling southbound on I-55 without a license plate light. When law enforcement activated the emergency lights and ordered the driver to pull over near mile marker 5, the driver suddenly accelerated away, repeatedly changing lanes and weaving between traffic lanes in an attempt to escape.
Tennessee, Boyd Sam Young, 2403. Southbound
The pursuit continued as the Toyota Sienna maintained a high speed and repeatedly made dangerous lane changes. Recognizing that the driver's actions were posing a threat to traffic safety, Sergeant Cook quickly closed in on the vehicle. Near mile marker 2, he successfully performed a pit maneuver, causing the Sienna to lose control, leave the roadway, and become stuck in a ditch.
Sit down, hurry. Get in.
Yeah, we're going to be at the 2 southbound, 97 with them.
After the pit maneuver, the driver, Victoriano Salez, and the front seat passenger immediately opened the doors and fled southbound on foot. Officer Darren Evans, number 573, quickly pursued Salez for approximately 150 meters and successfully took him into custody. The front seat passenger continued to flee and was not located despite assistance from the West Memphis Police Department. The two rear seat passengers, Domingo Ernesto and Audelia Amparo Mendez, remained at the scene and were detained by law enforcement.
I'm going to call THC. They got Hey, put 2 in back of my Durango?
Yeah, well, no, I'll put both of them in there for their passes.
Victoriano Salez displayed signs of intoxication, including red eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of alcohol on his breath. Salez faced charges including fleeing by vehicle and on foot, first offense DWI, reckless driving, refusal to submit to a chemical test, driving while license suspended, and no insurance. The two passengers, Domingo Ernesto and Audelia Amparo Mendez, were also charged with drinking alcohol and possessing open alcoholic beverage containers inside the vehicle.